Hello friends, today we'll study one of the new trends in agricultural extension, that is privatization in extension. Usually on this topic, the short note is asked on privatization in extension in your final examination. There are number of public extension systems which are working in India. The best example is the agriculture department or the state agricultural department in every state, or state agricultural universities, or Krishi Vigyan Kendras, etc. So these are the various agencies which are working to transmit the knowledge to the farmers. But due to some reasons, they are not enough to transfer the knowledge up to the farmers, or they are not efficiently reaching up to the farmers, and that is why the need of privatization in extension has been aroused. Now let us see exactly what is the privatization in extension. So privatization in extension means it is the act of reducing the role of government or increasing the role of private sector in the extension activity or transmitting the knowledge, or we can say in the ownership of different assets. Secondly, the private extension means it is the process in which the extension services they are delivered by the private individuals or the organization. This is known as privatization in extension. Now we'll see the problems in public extension systems. The major problem in public extension services is that these are supply driven rather than demand driven. They don't focus on what the farmers need, what are the market demands, what are the needs of the farmers. They don't provide the knowledge as per the requirement of the farmer or the requirement of the market. Then next problem is that they lack the location specific extension services. The extension services should be as per the location, what the farmers in this particular district require. Such type of extension services should be provided to them. What farmers of this particular village require, what are their problems regarding farming, what type of extension programs they require. Such type of location specific services should be provided to the farmers. The services carried out by the public extension systems, they are very general in nature and they involve very high cost and usually low impact of extension programs undertaken by public extension systems is seen, even though of the high cost. Then the main reason behind this low impact is that the poor motivation of staff working at the grassroots level. The village level workers, or we can say the village level extension workers who are providing or transmitting the knowledge up to the farmers are not fully motivated. They are not aware about the responsibilities and the well-being of the farmers. Then usually the public extension services, they are curative in nature, not the preventive. They are always curative in nature. So this is also one of the lacuna of these extension services. After seeing the for example, after seeing the we can say the infestation of the pest on the particular crop in a particular region, they provide the extension services how to control that particular pest. Instead, in prevention, they should provide the preventive measures, that how we can cope with the particular problem before emerging it. Then the next problem which is observed in public extension system is that the wide or inadequate number of VLWs, that area to cover is larger and the number of technically qualified people or VLW is less, and they are not working efficiently as the workload is too much. So these are the various problems which are usually observed in the public extension systems, and we can see in general that in the public extension system or in the public extension service, the service providers are less compared to the number of farmers in the particular region. So due to these reasons or due to these problems, they cannot efficiently or effectively work, and hence this has emerged the need of privatization of the extension service. If they will get the help or the support of the private extension system or the service providers, it will be the benefit for the farmers. Usually we can see the major two types of private extension services. The first one is that is entirely private type, in which these agencies, they are directly involved in the farming activities via various ways. That can be the consultancy to the farmers directly by the knowledgeable personnel, or that may be any particular agri-business, agri-farm or agricultural input industries, such as that may be fertilizer industries, seed industries or implement industries, that along with the sale of their produce, they also provide the consultancy regarding the particular produce to the farmers for the ease application of that particular produce to the farmers. So that also indirectly brings out the well-being of the farmers. And few of the private agencies, they are involved in, we can say, affordable, or we can say the paying extension services. The best example is the agri clinics. Second type is that is the farmers organizations, through the extension services through farmers organizations or non-governmental organizations, which are completely, or we can say, dependent upon the government subsidies. So here we can take the example of IFFCO or CRIPCO. They are one of the cooperative agencies which are involved in the fertilizer manufacturing, and along with those activities, they also provide the extension services, a good extension services to the farmers. Privatization of extension services doesn't aim to replace the public extension services, but if the private extension organizations or the agencies get involved in providing extension services to the farmers, it would benefit the farmers a lot, because the competition will automatically be generated in the various extension service providers in the private sector, and of course it will lead to a very efficient work due to the competition amongst them. And they will also look or try to give the demand driven services to the farmers. The demand driven services means exactly what the farmers need. As per the demand or as per the need of the farmers, they will provide the services, they will provide the knowledge, transmit the knowledge which is actually needed to the farmer at the grassroots level, or needed to the farmer at his field conditions. Now we'll see the different services which are provided by the private extension systems in India for the farmers. So first is that the cost sharing by farmers group. Usually the farmers groups are formed for seeking the consultancy from the private agencies. Usually the farmers with the common growing the common crop, usually the cash crops, fruit crops such as grapes or pomegranates, they come together and form the group so that collectively they can visit the consultancy agencies for the seeking knowledge regarding that particular crop. Second, that is cost recovery on selected services offered to farmers. Particularly this cost recovery is done in the agencies usually which provide the consultancy regarding the use of implements. Then third is contracting services to small groups. In this, the contract farming is usually done in particular regions. The best example is the PepsiCo company, which is involved in contract farming, which makes the group of a potato growers in the particular village or the particular areas. 5 to 10 potato growers, they come together, and this PepsiCo experts, they usually visit to this farmers group and provide all the type of inputs, since from the seed pesticides, fertilizer to the end, all the inputs which are required, and provide the experts consultancy regarding that crop at all the conditions. There are regular visits of those experts, consultants at the farmers village, at the those contracted fields at every fortnight or the 15 days of the month. Then next is the paid extension services for affordable farmers. These extension services can only be usually enjoyed by the farmers who are rich or the big farmers and which are involved in the cash crops. Then next is value addition by agro processing firms. There are numerous agri entrepreneurs or the processing firms which usually provide the consultancy to the farmers, provide the inputs to the farmers, and buy their produce at the end with the, we can say, the predetermined prices along with the pre-consultancy or the nominal consultancy charges. Then next is the consultancy services that may be both technical and managerial. In this, the best example is agri clinics or the few owners of the agro service centers who are usually we can say well experienced. Usually they provide the paid consultancy to the farmers along with the inputs. The next is self-help group of farmers. The self-help group of farmers, SHGs, are formed so that they can collectively pay the contribution for the consultancy to the private sector. And next is the information support through media organization. Different types of media organizations, such as that may be any television program, radio program, or we can say the magazines related to the farming community or the farmers magazine. These are usually involved in such type of extension services indirectly by providing the information to the farmers. Now we'll study ITC eChopal in short. eChopal is an initiative of Indian Tobacco Company which provides the proper platform for the farmers to sell their produce, that is agricultural and aquacultural products like soybean, wheat, coffee and prawns via internet. That is, it makes possible the direct marketing of their produce by reducing the number of intermediaries involved, so in which the maximum share can be obtained by the farmers. Then it also provides the relevant and real-time information that may be on weather conditions, on the market prices of the produce, or the information related or the knowledge related to the particular products grown in that area. Now we'll say in short Mahindra Shubh Labh Company Limited. By the Mahindra and Mahindra, total 50 agri service centers are established. These are one-stop shops for the farmers. It means the farmers can get the agricultural consultancy, the equipments on rent, or the required inputs for the particular crops at one place. Then this Mahindra and Mahindra, they also provide the crop loans to the farmers in collaboration with the ICICI Bank. So Mahindra and Mahindra, they provide the good packages at affordable price in which we may have access to the scientific information, then that may be the consultancy by the experts, then good equipments, and also the quality products, that is quality inputs, that may be seeds or the chemicals, pesticides, fertilizers, etc. Now we'll see the two private initiatives, that is IFFCO and CRIPCO, and also Hariyali Kisan Bazaar. In the by the IFFCO and CRIPCO, the services like consultancy is provided to the farmers. these CRIPCO and IFCO, they are the cooperatives and they get involved in the extension activities such as conducting the farmers meeting, organizing crop seminars, then arranging the soil testing facilities for the farmers in the particular adapted villages. The next initiative is by the Hariyali Kisan Bazaar. In this, it is a chain of agricultural input retail stores, which along with the inputs, it also provides the marketing support for the produce of the farmers.